also, like, to be honest, the 1/1s are going to split, or the 2/0s are going to split. So, like, that match has a little less on it. I do have to adjust their names. So, I'll be 1 second here. 1/1 update. Update. So this is Blue Red Prowess. I believe we're good. Taran Huck against Damien Huck. There's too many Hucks in this place. I hate it. Taran having a really good start. He was able to lead off with Kamano, play a Shredder that gets an automatic counter from the Kamano. But Portable Hole, gonna come take it out. I don't know why he had to flick it off, but you know, it's fine. This will flip. Another reason Kamano is like kind of good in these spots is it having haste is going to be able to allow him to put pressure on Damien with it. Sprite Dragon, play with fire. So this is going to be a 6 damage turn. We're going to get Scry because the play with fire went to face. Damien hiding his life total, saying you can't hit me. I have hexproof because I said so. Swing 4. All the way down to 13. A lot of damage. Start off the game. One of the issues playing blue-white being on the draw. Only has a march available. Be able to get rid of one of these threats. Our boy Sprite Dragon's probably going to get hit real hard here. Most likely only getting 2 damage through. But other than that, Damien's hand's not great. This will be exiled. Damien will take 2. See the draw. Farmland. Desert Beach comes down. We now have a Deluge and a Veto. You're not going to be able to counter the Shredder, which I assume will come down, and then combat damage will probably happen. Light up stage will get fired off. Damien might have to let that go so he can dig for some cards. And here we'll see. Light up stage. Big decision for Damien. Do I counter or do I dig? Do I memory deluge or do I veto? Connive trigger happens. Shredder did get bigger. He lets it go, prioritizing digging. Not necessarily the worst hit for Damien to see, although if Taran does hit a land, that means Arcane can be activated. Although this is not looking great. Portable Hole, a good draw. Absorb pretty good as well. Hitting his land drops. Portable Hole, target there. Taran says, that's fine, sir. Then we're going to play an island to keep the option of casting a Memory Deluge open. There's a play with fire, a Kamano, and a treasure cruise in hand with the Soul Scar mate still off light up stage. See how Taran plans to position his turn. Little bit weird here. So we hit for 7. Or hit down to 7, not 4-7. Big difference. Kamano comes down. Is this a good chance to prevent a damage and gain 3, but not necessarily what you should do? Deluge on the pass resolves. Let's say Turtle Hermit, thanks for the follow, by the way. Do appreciate it. Another veto. So this is where the game can get a little weird for Taran. In terms that Damien benefits if Taran tries to cast a spell, because he has an absorb, whereas he just goes in for pure combat damage. He's got the clock, but I do think he has the land in hand that deals damage to target attacking creature. He's playing around it. Forces Damien to use it. He's able to kill a creature and still hold up an absorb. That happens. We'll see if he's going to fire off this play with fire. Might receive an absorb, which seems like a good idea because you'll be able to prevent 2 but gain 3. So a 5-point swing. However, that's going to leave him vulnerable to a treasure cruise. It does get absorbed. Taran still gets damage in, so Damien only eventually after the turn gains 1. But the treasure cruise will go off. Also, Kira, thanks for the follow, by the way. Another land. Play a Soul Scar. If it's a Swift Sphere, I would imagine that Taran would have held it in hand to try to play around a verdict. Benjamin and R1 RKLEG. Thanks for the follow. There's probably a way to pronounce that, but I'm not quite sure how. Maybe what's a decent draw out of March. Yo, sick. Okay, sorry chat. Was talking to TJ about some of the things that he's been programming for the Discord and whatnot. Basically about getting the events posted and streams posted. So sorry for the little bit of radio silence there. Snark, thanks for the follow, by the way. Are these 2 brothers? No, they are family. Taran is Damien's uncle. So Taran, I want to say, is the youngest brother, but also by a lot. Like, I'm pretty sure he's the youngest by like 10 to 12 plus years. But so like whenever he's next to his brothers, he definitely doesn't look, he looks more like he's closer to Damien's age than he is his brother's age. So a little bit of cycle farmland. So I haven't, because I was talking to I didn't quite know what's happening. And Taran does his social media stuff. However, I did make the shredder. I don't know if you've seen it, but if you know the Giga Chad meme, which we have an emote of it, I basically took Shredder and put his head on it. That's the emote there. Obviously, maybe a little hard to see, but yeah, I made that. It's how we announced one of our 1Ks or our invitational. I don't quite remember. But that's what we used. So, yep. They're so proud of me. I know it. They must be. So we're starting off. Standard start for probably both sides. Damien's hand is pretty gas. For the most part, he's just got a lot of answers. The only thing that he really needs now is actually an additional land. Preferably a blue and white land, so dual land. Somebody insert that dual lands are legal in modern, or pioneer. Not legal in modern either, I guess. When does the next season start? We are not exactly sure in terms of a date of when it will start, but we are probably still roughly a month away, if not a little bit longer than that. Damien has a Field of Ruin, irrigated farmland, and a blue-white pathway. He has the retro border Field of Ruin. Well, there you go, if you needed to see it. So, is going to be able to... Wait, is Taran not playing any basics? Probably not. I don't think I've seen one. And this is uncle versus nephew, yeah. So. Nice wasteland, Damien. Very cool of you. Maybe he didn't grab one for some reason. I don't know. I could have sworn he had like at least a basic mountain or something in his deck. Or basic island, but I'm not entirely sure. It's also possible he didn't want to. The thing is, like, he doesn't have it in hand. So, I don't know. Wait, I'm not on the right match. That's why my live titles aren't updating. Oopsie. All life totals are separate. And sometimes I forget that. Taran's not too far from picking these up, I think. So, Soul Scar draw. Here comes the whip. The Tormod's whip. Additional land. Damien has a lot of action that he can take. Take 2 cards. I draw. Soul Scar number 1. Soul Scar number 2. Damien elected not to counter either. Wants to... Well, it seems like a good reason not to. Got a ton more removal, still has a counter spell. Use the last one. Aiden Garcia. Aiden J. Garcia. Thanks for the follow. Another portable hole. I'll take the Hearst. They're trying to figure out if it would maintain the counters. If it were to come back. So basically, we're going to see Taran go into combat. Emperor's probably coming down, exiling one of these. And Taran's going to go home, essentially. Or maybe his plan is to fight this out. I don't know. Treasure Cruise would be a good reason to stay. Damien goes up life because he exiled. Huh? Oh yeah, you're so smart. So he gained 2 life, but he took the 2 damage. We're at 169 viewers. The magic number. I want to be known that Connor asked to drop and then went and played his match. I'll just throw him around. Soul Scar is going to get shoulder checked by a Hall. Shredder. Swift Spear, counter go on Shredder. Resolving Opt. Taran looking confused at what his top card is. Wondering who put it in the deck. Yeah, he found on the island. He found the island that he was missing earlier. Make a token. First thing you do, so your planeswalker can't be removed by something. Pass from here. Damien feeling no need to move because he could instep scry, still has the Hall activation if needed. But he allows that to resolve. Just one going there, or maybe both going there. Maybe trying to figure that out. What face? He's going to scry on instep. Okay with drawing an Emperor off the top. So we're probably going to see this one make another token then. Or put a counter on ours. It kind of disguises your draw. Because if you were to just down tick and make another token, it might be obvious that you drew another Emperor. Or potentially a board wipe of sorts. Taran taking 3. The creature has vigilance, so stays back and blocks as well. Prevents these dash Ragavans from happening. Obviously, that one's a joke. Let's see an Emperor get slammed here. I do not think Taran is playing Young Pyromancer, but I would say that your statement is correct. But Taran's going to pick it up to the second Emperor. Jesus Raphael. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Alright, they're getting started. Nice. So, slam pass into an optal and Damien's instep. Do-Rat coming in, doing his business. Puts Damien down to 19. A whole whopping 19. Are we about to see land portable hole again? Ooh, rest in peace. Didn't really get to see his hand all too well to see if he's getting punished on this rest in peace. Well, there's a treasure cruise. I guess it's better to have it hit off that light up stage than it would be to go to your hand. Just consider a draw. No land drop from Teta Boy. Taran knows that treasure cruise is still going to be in the light up stage spot, but not really going to be able to play it anytime soon, so he just went ahead and put it in exile. And here comes the hard spot. Do we consider and then play our shredder slash do-rat, or do we just slam the shredder? Taran's really missing land here. Only bright side is if he's eventually able to cause enough pressure later. How many portable holes? You just said holes in a different way, and it just did not resonate with my brain. It's very possible he's on 4, because I'm not sure, though. It's also very possible that Damien just looked first list and was like, that one. So, based off what I'm looking at, he's probably on 4. Discard that. Mono come down. Unless it get absorbed here. And then we're looking at... So no absorb. Get no value from it. I think Kamano is a... Kamano is a tricky one. And whether you want to counter it or not. I think with how his turn was playing out, he could have done it. Because it probably would have felt decently okay here. Especially with like that draw kind of backing up the idea in terms of he would have been able to play land, play a Teferi, draw an additional card, and then like at this spot he has a March to also play. But now he's kind of got a pass with March and Absorb up, which could be good too. But you also could have prevented this threat. Taran hitting a land. He has a lot more cards in hand than Damien does. So it's honestly in these type of spots where control is going to struggle. They have way less cards in hand. Prowess has a threat in play that's decently good at filtering the hand. And also another threat that you can't like draw a verdict next turn and wipe them both off the board. You can obviously march the Kamano or whatever, but you have to use 2 cards to do that in comparison to the 1. Casting a light up stage. This is a pretty good absorb target. Allowing him to get more cards. Taran going to have an answer for a big Teferi. Because he has a disdainful stroke in hand. 2 lands. Both probably going to the bottom. Untap. See what you hit, Mr. Sir. Another land. The farmland could be cycled though. But again, if Damien taps out to play this big Teferi, he might just die for it. Or get pretty close, because Damien's all the way down to 13. Jesus. I keep putting the thing on the wrong life. I keep having it on the wrong game and adjusting their random life totals that you can't see for whatever reason. Instep opt. Bottom draw. Think it's a Swift Spear. The pressure's real with what's in Taran's hand. Consider connive. Another Swift Spear. Really gonna rely on Taran playing around a board wipe or not. Consider draw. This Fire Bluff most likely just going to be exiled, as Taran did draw the Steam Vents and is most likely planning to shock that land in. I think I like for Taran to be a little more cautious here. In terms of just playing his threat and holding up his Stainful Strobe, where he can just go like Swift Spear, shocking a land, but he's maybe even being a little more passive than that. We march here. March for a total of 2, so the spell in the stack is 3. Shredder going to be exiled, taking 2. So the reason that he plays a post-combat Swift Spear here is to protect himself and represent as much as he possibly can. Because obviously this Swift Spear could have swung, but maybe playing around a Shark Typhoon, screwing up some stuff. And here, with only an Absorb in hand, it's going to get a Disdainful Stroke. Damien almost slammed the Absorb, realizing he's down 1 mana. And the gates are open. This tells Taran that there's no Dovin's Veto in hand. The only thing that he's going to have here is a removal spell at the very worst. And this is one of the things that Taran talks about a lot of the times when he's playing his blue-red deck in the Discord, is like trying to find that window that's open and just slowly playing the game instead of giving blue-white control a lot of things to do with as little cards as it can. So, again, I think we're going to see a decent commitment, especially to the board state. Because even with the commitment to the board, he's still up on cards in the hand. It's just how much does he plan to commit? Because right now it's 4 damage. Downside of this is it puts his... Oh, he's going all the way out. So he's trying to get as much damage in as he can. Just calling Damien's bluff in terms of having a removal spell at all. Damien has nothing to back it up. Goes all the way down to 1, and we'll see a draw. Faithful Absence and Absorb. This game ends. Taran did find the window, worked his hand down. Also, having the benefit of missing a land drop early may have helped him, because he was able to apply enough pressure while not committing too many cards just naturally. And that's some of the issues you can run into